Hello and welcome. My name is Jody Skulls. I'm your instructor for the MBLEX review course. Today we are going to be talking about kinesiology with its movements of the ankle and foot. Who knew that we needed to know the ankle and the foot? Yes, they're one of my favorite places to massage, the ankle and the foot. In fact, I would say in 99 out of 100 massages that I do, I start with the ankles and feet. Yeah, because that's where we touch the ground. And there's all sorts of yummy, yummy, yummy stuff we can massage there. Let's take a look at that in just a moment. Wanted to remind you that class is in three parts. Our first section of class is a test-taking strategy. The second section of class, the long section of class, is our learning, is our deeper dive into the anatomy and the kinesiology today of the foot and ankle and a bit of the lower leg. And then the last part of class is dissecting questions. And we are dissecting questions directly on the information we just learned. So it will round out the class for you to apply what you have just learned. So let's get started with our test-taking strategy, learning, dissecting questions. Yes. So that will give you a well-rounded how to apply the knowledge that you've just learned in this lesson on kinesiology of the lower leg, ankle specifically, and foot. But we start with a test-taking strategy. And this may seem, you may be wondering, how is this a test-taking strategy? However, test-taking strategies are not only tools that you can take into the treatment room, but they're also what helps you stay motivated to continue to learn. And part of the reason that you're in this community is because everybody else here is studying for the MBLEX as well. Yeah. And so what I'd like you to do is think back to when you enrolled in massage school. Maybe even when you saw your first, or you had maybe not your first, but you had a clinic session where you just knew, wow, that client really enjoyed this session. I'd like you to tune into your decision to go to massage school. Tune into a session that made a difference. Maybe even recently, maybe you were doing your practice sessions. Because my test-taking strategy for you today is to remember your why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to practice massage therapy? In fact, write one or two words in the chat. I don't need the whole story. Just give me what pops to mind for you. Family, making a difference, being healthy, being surrounded by healthy people. Why do you want to be a massage therapist? It's something I ask when I interview new therapists. It's one of the questions I ask them. What motivated you? Jay Jones says, man, it motivates me to help people. And I want you to tune back into the difference that you are going to make as a licensed massage therapist. I want to share with you some of the comments that are coming in. You can probably see them, but Raven says, massage chose me. It's a natural calling to heal. It's true. And that's a true statement. Yes, we take the steps forward to go to massage school, but massage therapy really chooses you. Being helpful to people feeds my soul. Yeah. Bria Sherry says, when I realize how I can help move pain out of the body, I love the fact that I can, Dora says, I love the fact that she's a part of keeping athletes performing at their optimal level. Oh, yeah, being part of the team. Yeah, helping people. I love the comfort of helping others feel better. Yeah, yeah, you're making a difference in the world. Yeah, and your clients, your future clients, they need your gift. They need you to bring your heart and your skills and your knowledge into the treatment room for them. Because when you help one person, just even one person, even if it's part of your practice sessions where you're getting tipped or you're accepting a donation, when you help that one person feel better, it's a ripple effect. I'd like you to imagine dropping a stone off a bridge, like a low bridge, into still water, like into a little pond. If you're athletic, you can throw the rock, but you drop it into the water. And you've seen this when you drop a stone into the water, it gets that ripple effect, right? Yeah. When you help that one person, everything in their life gets better. You help that one person, and when they leave your treatment room after their massage, they're calmer. They're more focused. Yeah, we do all these health benefits, right? But when they're calmer, when they're more focused, they're calmer and more focused with their kids. They're calmer and more focused with their spouse. They're calmer and more focused in traffic. That is the benefit to the entire community when you do a massage, when you give your gift to the world. I hope you can see this ripple effect. When you drop your stone into the water, the ripple effect where your zip code is a better place to live because you're doing massage. Yeah. And so my test taking strategy for you today is to, if you feel frustrated, if you feel disconnected from studying, it's a great time to pause and remember why you want to be a massage therapist. It's why I show up to teach, because I know that when you pass the MBLEX, you are going to give your gift to 100 people, to 1,000 people, to 10,000 people. Last time I did an inventory of the number of massages I've done, probably around 22,000 individual sessions. Yeah, some beautiful time in the treatment room, making a difference in the world. And at the end of the day, I believe it's a big part of your motivation to become a massage therapist is making a difference in the world. So let's go get better at doing that, shall we? Here we are at Kinesiology, of the ankle and foot. So to do kinesiology, technically we have to do anatomy. So you're gonna get both sides of it today. So the anatomy, physiology, and kinesiology of the ankle and foot. Yay! So some of our slides are taken from Trail Guide to the Body. Thank you so much, Trail Guide to the Body, for permission to use your images. Really appreciate it. This is Books of Discovery, Trail Guide to the Body. What's going to be happening today? You will be comfortable identifying the different divisions of the lower leg and ankle and the foot. You'll be able to describe the bones and the muscles of each of these regions. You'll recognize the movements of the foot and the ankle, clearly recognize those, and you'll be able to name the muscles that create the movements of the foot and the ankle. All right. You know, if this lesson is boring for you, celebrate. I know you're super curious and I know you're going to learn something because it's amazing and we're well prepared, but I really hope that this is getting to be a bit of a review for you. Yeah, because you've got this body of knowledge that is growing, that is building on itself. So a lot of this is going to look familiar. Let's hope, right? Or not. And that's also why you're here. Let's take a look at these muscles. We are in the posterior compartment of the leg and foot. And this is a beautiful view of your gastroc. So your gastrocnemius, called your gastroc. There are two heads. We're going to be talking about the movement of the gastroc, what it does in just a moment. But I want you to get a really clear idea of this gastroc with the two heads. And then when we look under the gastroc is the soleus. And you can see here how the gastroc turns into the tendon, that calcaneal tendon. Lovely picture, isn't it? Yeah. So both soleus and the gastroc combine into that tendon. Primarily, they usually talk about just the gastroc, but I'm just telling you, the soleus does too. So let's just briefly review too, since we're right here and we've got this nice picture. Here's the hamstrings. What's interesting about the hamstrings is they cross the knee. Here we go, movement. The gastroc does two things. It helps to flex the knee because look, it's attached here to the femur. And it comes down and attaches. And the gastroc it crosses two joints. Take a peek. It's attaching here at the femur. So it goes over. So again, and it's the lateral and medial portions of this case, yep, the lateral and medial portions of the femur. Because it helps to flex the knee, but its major job is to plantar flex the ankle. So plantar flexion, just switch it around. The soleus and the gastroc are contracting. That means the tibialis anterior, in this picture on the top of the leg, they're lengthening. So our gastroc and our soleus are contracting, pulling that heel, pointing those toes down. So these have to lengthen, they have to let go. In this picture, which muscles are the agonists? Can you apply your knowledge? Jay Jones nailed it. The gastroc and the soleus are the agonists in plantar flexion. See how that switched? Because they're the muscles in agony. They're the muscles who are active. Whereas that would make the tibialis anterior the antagonist. It has to shut off to achieve this movement. Ready to dissect some questions? It's that time. All right. We have been deep into the foot, deep into the ankle. Yeah. What tissue has its origin at the distal femur and its insertion at the calcaneus? Its knee is to create plantar flexion and knee flexion. Woo! This is a real MBLEX question. Let's read it again. What tissue has its origin at the distal femur and its insertion at the calcaneus? Its action is to create plantar flexion and knee flexion. A, soleus. B, posterior tibialis. C, peroneal muscles. D, gastrocnemius. Let's get rid of one wrong answer. Now you're lining up your answers. You know it's one of these two, but you're not sure which one. Let's get rid of one wrong answer. It is not the fibularis muscles, otherwise known as the peroneals. 3, 2, 1, go. J. Jones. Maria. Edgar Good and Dora Leck, yeah. Amy and Raven. Bria and Blanca. Nailed it. I'll show you the dead giveaway in just a moment. We got answers still coming in. Brienne got it. Nice. Best answer. Boom. Gastrocnemius. Now, hey, how come it's not the soleus? The soleus creates plantar flexion, right? We said both the gastroc and the soleus create plantar flexion. Well, big difference. Someone's got it in there. Doesn't cross the knee. That's right. Soleus doesn't cross the knee. And it does not create knee flexion, Bria says. That's right. Exactly. The soleus only does plantar flexion. Yeah, that's all it does. It doesn't cross the knee. And so it cannot create knee flexion. Good distinction. That was the little tiny giveaway between the distance. That and the distal femur, right? Because the soleus, it starts at the top of the tibia. It doesn't cross the knee. The gastroc crosses the knee. We didn't even say crosses the knee, but it has to have its origin at the distal femur. Nice. Next question. Oh, I wanted to show you. Yes. So crosses the knee joint at the distal femur, inserts into the calcaneal tendon. Yep. Ankle plantar flexion and knee flexion. Yay! That's the end of our questions. Woo-hoo! All right. Did you ever think that you would spend so much time talking about the foot and the ankle? Kind of fun, huh? I will wrap up our recording by reminding you that my name is Jody Scholes. I'm your instructor for the MBLEX review course. Thanks so much for being here. I'm going to take some questions from our gallery from all of our lovely massage school graduates here in live class. So I encourage you, make live class. It's a lot of fun, and we get more questions answered even after the cameras stop rolling. Signing off for now. See you again soon.